What's going on? It's your boy Rob Lee from Filth Bomb Breaks, and today we're going to be discussing the state of the sports cards market and specifically talk about what kind of packs to buy right now. We got our main breaker, Steven Michael, over here, and he's going to answer some of the questions that are relative to anybody looking to get into buying packs. So, to set it off, Steve, first question. What do you think is the reason why there's been this huge explosion in cards recently?
It's a mixture. It's a bunch of different things, I'd say. One's the Gary Vee effect. I think him talking about cards alone is driving up the price because you got a bunch of the flippers that are getting into the market that weren't necessarily there. You have the COVID-19, the epidemic. That thing is getting people out of jobs. So even though they're out of jobs, they're still getting paid from the government. So they got this surplus of income to spend. And you had literally the amount of people that were in the market. It was probably up to 250%. That's how many extra people got in the market. You got flippers that are naturally, by instinct, they want to buy and sell, and they can't necessarily do that with sneakers as easily because it's limited quantities. But with sports cards, you could get however many you want right now, you know?
Do you find there might be an issue with overproductions, like things were so mass-produced where it brought down the value?
The industry basically crumbled in the early 90s, I want to say. So while I say that it's unlimited, you can get however many you want, I don't necessarily mean of the best cards, right? Because now what they do is they limit the best cards. So, for example, you want a Zion Williamson RPA, which is a rookie patch autograph from National Treasures. There's only 99 of them. So now you're going to always have competition, people with deep pockets trying to own as many of them as they can, you know? But if you're a good salesman, you could flip however many base LeBron James cards that you could get your hands on, right? Because LeBron's always going to be hot. There's always going to be people that want LeBron James. So these flippers are taking advantage of, I don't want to say uneducated, but I'd say new collectors that are like, oh my God, it's a LeBron James PSA 10. Yeah, there's a million LeBron James PSA 10s. So you want to make sure you get the right ones, you know? But a flipper is just going to keep dumping them until they can't dump them anymore. So that's why I think between Gary Vee, between the flippers, between COVID, there's just, the industry's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So how long do you think it's going to rise for?
I mean, with anything, right? Even if this is a bubble, which I don't think it's a bubble per se, because the sports card industry's been here forever, right? Since the early 1900s, kids were getting Honus Wagner cards in tobacco boxes, or since the 60s, our dads were putting cards in their bicycle spokes, right? So it's always been there. People have always been collecting cards, but it goes in surges, right? Like with anything, it goes in phases. So in the 80s, it was booming, but look how long it lasted, right? It lasted for at least 7 years when it was smoking hot, right? Figure mid 80s to early 90s. So just now it started getting crazy. So you figure what, 2019? So you got to figure for at least the next 5 years, it's going to be strong. And if they play their cards right and they don't do anything dumb, there's no reason why it can't sustain this level. Because how long ago were people flipping sneakers? You probably know better than me.
Yeah, for decades.
Right? But now they got into this because it's more lucrative and because not necessarily too much supply, but there's more supply than sneakers.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think they're doing it right, because if you go to Target right now, you'll see like every single day they get a delivery, a bunch of people are coming there with shopping carts, and they're limiting the orders. I guess.
I thought I saw you at Target though, trying.
How many you got?
That's great.
All right. So with that said, what do you think the best packs to get right now is, as like a regular, you know, if you had $100 right now and you were buying sealed packs, what would you spend your money on?
I mean, that's all you can get for $100 right now, sealed packs, because you're not getting boxes.
Yeah.
There's no boxes out there for $100. I think a better question would be if you had $1,000 right now, what would you spend it on? Because unfortunately, this hobby's not for children at the moment. There's no more days of going in and buying a $3 pack of cards from your local deli. It doesn't exist. So what I tell people is the $20 Target boxes that you can find now, which you can't find now because they're not at Target, are the new hobby boxes. They're the new boxes you'll go into a hobby shop for and buy for $150. That's just how it is.
$20 boxes.
Yeah, it's insane. There's the boxes that you used to, right? So let's use basketball, for example, because it's the strongest sport right now in the market. A box of NBA hoops last year was $60. Okay, if you just want, and that's an entry-level product. That's if you wanted to go and get a base card of Zion, Ja Morant, you wanted to get it for the kids, open up some packs. You know, there's 24, 36 packs, however many packs. It's just a fun product. That product right now, the hobby box, if you wanted to buy it, is $400+.
But
so it's like,
is that 2019's version? Like
yeah,
what's 2020's version?
Yeah,
is $400 too?
$400. 2018-19, right? So basketball is 2 years, 18-19 because it overlaps, and then 2020 is 2019-2020. So if you wanted to go further back and go to 18-19, it's even more money because that's Luka Doncic rookie year. So you're not even touching a box of that for under $600 right now. So gone are the days, and the problem is a lot of stores aren't going to sell you individual packs because what happens is people go until they hit the good card and they just stop. Like, we good, and now you left with a bunch of
People go in with the stigma knowing that, oh, okay, these are probably the leftovers.
Yep.
Wow. So there is no like ability for somebody without a hefty amount of money to go in and try to like really get packs right now.
Nah, I mean, there's some hobby stores that do it, but even, all right, think of it like this. You have a box of Prism basketball, okay? Prism's like the highest end basketball product that has more than 10 cards in it, right? So it's got 12 packs. A box of Prism right now goes for $1,500 So do the math, right? You're over $100 on one pack of, I believe it's 8 cards. So that's like crazy. So you spending all your birthday money on 8 cards, and you might get a Rob Lee.
Yo, I feel bad for the kids.
You might get a Fred. You might get a Vinny and a John Yo in your pack. And you might have no birthday money left over, and you might be salty and just quit the industry. And that's facts right there.
Wow. Jeez. So there's nothing for the kids. So the question, you know, if you had $100 to spend on cards right now, you can't really do anything with that.
You could go on eBay and try to buy individual cards, or people sell packs on eBay after they open them and got the good ones. So if you want to take a shot at, but that's really it.
They reseal them?
No, they open up a box, they get the autograph. There's only one a box in some, and then they're like, all right, we selling the rest because we know there's no autograph in this box.
Wow, that's crazy.
People are snaky.
I guess there was no answer to that question, but what brand-wise, which brand would you say has the best quality cards?
All right, so there's only really 2 brands right now, right? There's Topps, there's Panini. Leaf has nice products. Upper Deck does hockey, strictly. Leaf doesn't have the license to anything, but they have the players' licenses. So I would say Leaf itself does a phenomenal job with products. Everything's so nice, especially their multi-sports. They do a really good job. Like if you look at Leaf Superlative, beautiful product. But if you're just speaking about in general, I think Panini, they have the license for NBA and NFL. They kill it. They kill it. Problem is with Panini, they don't have the MLB license. So although their cards are beautiful, people aren't buying them as much because Topps owns the MLB license. So Topps owns the baseball market, basically. Because if you want a card with a Yankee logo on it, you can't get it from Panini. You can only get it with Topps. Wow. So both companies are amazing, just in their own, in their own respects. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. So quality-wise, you would say it's across the board kind of even?
Yeah, I think it's pretty even. I think if I had a gun to my head and I had to answer that question and say who offers a premium product as far as quality goes, I think high-end Panini product is tough to beat. But I mean, it's very close, and I think Topps does a great job with their flagship product because they still offer an affordable product, which you necessarily can't get from Panini at the moment, like Top Series 1, Series 2 with Louis Robert, the biggest, or Robert, depending how you want to say it. Everyone's so snobby now. Like, it's Robert. Yeah, but depending how you want to say it, it's $130 you can get a box. You can't get a box for $130 with Zion in it, a hobby box. Yeah. So they have their pros and cons, both of them.
So as far as sealed product goes, do you feel like there is ever a situation where you would prefer to have the sealed product rather than opening it up?
All right, so I think if you have the money, I would never open up product. All right, well, two things, right? One, I'm addicted, so I open it anyway. And I think 99% of the people in the hobby have to open it just because if you have a sealed box and you know there's a chance, even if the box went from even if the box went from 100 to 1,000, you're like, yo, I could sell it for 900, but I need to open this because there might be a $9,000 card in there, you know? Yeah. But the smart play is to hold the product and not open it. Now, if you were buying cards for yourself, I would say don't open up boxes yourself. Get in a case break as opposed to opening up your own boxes. But if you're going to spend money, I would spend money on boxes to hold them rather than getting in a case break, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you don't have the same fun. That's a problem. You wind up having a shelf full of wax like it's a museum. You just show it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And offloading all these cards is probably going to be difficult when you open
It's harder than people
box.
think. It's harder than people think.
Like, do you think more than half of the product is being hoarded right now? Because I see cards that are, numbered 1 of 99, right? And then you go online and you try to find them and you only see literally 5 or 10 of them total. Like, where are the other 80?
So I think it could be two things. They're either being hoarded or they just haven't been opened yet, you know? So not necessarily, somebody's not necessarily hoarding that case. It's just out there to be purchased and it hasn't been opened, you know? I think it takes about 2 years for a product to really start drying up to the point where trickling the item onto the market, you're going to actually create a very strong demand for it. So, for example, these 1920 products, they're still everywhere, right? Like if you go on eBay, you type in 1920 sealed boxes, they're still everywhere. So one or two things is going to happen. Somebody's going to buy it and open it, now that box is gone forever. Or someone's going to buy it and hold on to it. So if you look at 1819 product with Luka, they're dried up now. You can't find them. You know, and if you can, they're at a stupid price. So it usually takes about 2 years before you really start to notice, oh, wow, that box is either still in somebody's closet or 90% of it's been ripped.
I mean, I feel bad about this whole entire video because it's the whole concept was what sports packs to buy, but unless you have a ton of money, it's kind of there's no point. So I guess
that's why.
Then
case
better
breaks.
yet, let's say, case breaks is definitely a way to go.
$100, you could get a team from a full case. Nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's part of the reason why case breaks is blowing up lately. Because if you can't get into regular packs, then you might as well get just the team that you like. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
So, all right, if you had $2,000, what sealed product would you be buying right now?
If you're buying
sealed
a box of cards, one box with $2,000, I would say you got to go Prism Basketball right now.
Prism Basketball.
Just because if you hold it, it's probably going to appreciate. It has a deep rookie class, 1819. You could get a box of 1819 if you have another 3,000 to throw on top of it.
Wow.
So so it's a value right there, 1,500, 1,600, and take the other 400 and just put it in your pocket.
Okay. So that's the final answer. Prism.
Yeah, definitely
Basketball. Prism. All right. Well, your answer is really just get into a break. That's what I would do.
And it's not even because I break. It's just because it's mathematically makes the most sense. You put $1,000 into a break, spread it out. If you put $1,000 into a break of a sealed case, you're going to do a lot more damage than if you spent $1,000 on sealed boxes. because you have a shot at everything from that case. If you're on eBay buying a box of this, a box of that, you can wind up getting the most doo-doo boxes from that case, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tell people all the time, like, oh, it's because you break. That's why. It's not why. It's because it's simple mathematics.
There you go. Get in a case break. Spend it on that 2018, 2019 Prism basketball.
That we have none of, because that thing's way too expensive.
So what you gotta do is you gotta do something. Do Bitcoin, get all that money, and then buy boxes. Buy Tesla. Short it right now. I'm telling you. Make mad money.
Mad money.
All right, Steve. I'm gonna holla at you. Well, this is Rob and Steve from Filth Bomb Breaks. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you learned something. Probably didn't, because we don't got nothing to teach, because we're too ones. I'll cut that out. All right. Peace, yo.
Later, bro.